Race 1 of the final round of the Winter Series. I'll be starting on pole here. Left of the screen you can see the guys about to drop the flag, and here we go, underway already. Ben Davies in second place gets a great start off the line as I struggle to get away. He's already pulled a big gap as we enter turn 1, but I take a wide line as it's wet and damp. He slides out wide. I managed to nip in there and take the lead back. You can see the track is very patchy and wet in place. It's quite slippy. Qualifying was a lot worse. However, you can still see patches of rain as I slide out wide there. Got a very poor corner from me there. Coming up to the chicane now. You can see slightly wet, especially out wide on there, but a dry line appearing through there. Entering the another very wet section here, but you can see there's a dry line where I put my cart. And it's very much dry around here now. You can clip each of the curbs fine and not run out wide as you would do on the in the wet on these slicks. So keep checking behind me there, but you can't see on the camera as we finish lap 1 into lap 2 now of 8. Still taking a wide line around here because it's damp. Going up to the inside, you just slide out wide. Taking it, if you take a wide line, you can keep a lot more speed. A relatively dry corner here, but still damp, so taking it around the middle of the track. This is another wet corner. You'll see there that again I keep it take a wider line, a bigger radius. Coming through the fast chicane now, we are allowed to use that creamy colour then curb. So tight, this right-hander which tightens here, this is another part of the track, as mentioned before, which is dry. As I noticed through here, one of the kind of lid things on the fuel tank came off. So whenever I hit the curb or change direction from like left to right, right to left, I got a nice splash of fuel down my right knee and leg, which wasn't as comfortable. Fuel does like to burn at times, but race suit stopped a lot of my leg from burning. So still leading now, because I'm thinking this is a lap 3. Of course, this is the last round of the Winter Series, which going into I led by 2 points. After qualifying though, getting pole, I managed to increase this gap to 3 points. So currently leading this race. You also get a point for fastest lap, so it's important to try and get that extra point, because when our positions are only separated by 1 point each, that extra point can be vital. So the track is still wet around here, but you can, if qualifying was worse, you can take corners faster. You can, like this corner, you can take it more on the inside and not have to run out so wide like you do still have this corner. Almost halfway through the race then, I still lead after the poor getaway, but fortunately Ben Davies' mistake meant that I managed to repass him. He probably thought that the track was nice and dry by then, going by the line he was taking and the exit he had. But I watched a couple of races before that, and I could see that people were still taking that section wide around there. I'm still getting a nice load of splashes of fuel on my leg at this point. But still I raced on to try and stretch my championship lead before the final race of the Winter Series. 3 rounds, 6 races, 3 qualifying sessions it is, the Winter Series. Compared to the Summer Series, which is 18 or 21 races. So 6 or 7, must be 7 rounds. Or it might be 8, I think we increased one for the 2013 season. But yeah, the Summer Series is 3 laps of practice and 3 races, 1 starting at the front, 1 starting in the middle, 1 starting at the back. Still leading this race then. The grids are 16 carts, so 2 lightweight sessions, basically when you put your qualifying time in. 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and all the odd numbers will be 1 pack of racers, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. All the even numbers will be the other group. So first we'll have a pole in one of their races. The person who was second when both qualifying sessions were put together will be pole in the other race, and third joined me on this particular race on the front row. Those curbs you could see that was clipping around that section we just gone through there, they're quite high up, so they're splashed quite a bit of the fuel onto my knee. Probably around 3/4 of the way through the race now. This is probably the last couple of laps, I think. Still leading. I think I had a nice gap to the driver behind me. I think Ben Davies probably was just going around that last corner now, or just exited it, going by my memory, so I had a nice gap. This chicane is a nice little section to hook up there, going very close to the inside barrier and the outside on exit. It's one of those that feels nice when you get it spot on. So again, I think this must be lap 7. The laps around here are around, I think it's around, well, it was over a minute in qualifying, and then obviously throughout the day it got drier and drier, which meant that by the end, lap times were a lot quicker than the minute plus that we did in the very damp conditions. But yeah, so I've led this race from start to present, and I've got a nice gap behind me, and this is the last lap, I'm pretty sure of it. So it's important to get that fastest lap, and at the minute this is my best lap. Track is still drying out, so you'll be putting your best times in at the end if you keep up nice consistent pace. I did actually go over the line and set the fastest lap, but Ben Davies in second came over and went 0.07 quicker than me to take that fastest lap point away, which means we both got 20 points from this race. But I was very happy to take the win there. It meant I still had a 3-point gap to him going into that final race where I started at the back. So make sure you watch that race too. You won't be disappointed.